the debut of the 20th season of South Park tonight on Comedy Central, after which is the new Comedy Central animated series, Legends of Chamberlain Heights. And to my right are the voices, creators, writers of this new series, who happen to be not only walk-ons from UCLA back in their day, but also a former production assistant and editor at NFL Network, Josiah Johnson and Quinn Hawking. Look at you two.
Looking svelte.
Guys.
And we got to do that poll again in a week, and I guarantee we'll have at least like 4 to 5% on that thing. We might not be first, we'll be like 4%.
Well, I mean, it debuts tonight. And let me just read the New York Times review. Just a quick one. Here's you guys read this. Here we go. The first paragraph: move over, all you basketball wives. 3 animated high school basketball players have arrived, and they're more outrageous in any given 5 minutes than you are in an entire episode.
I think that article said like ribaldry or something. I never heard that word in my life before. I had to look it up, and I was like, okay, that's not bad.
They didn't teach that at UCLA?
I mean, we learned a lot, but we were more just a theory school, so they taught us how to think about looking up that word.
How would you describe this to people, Josiah?
Just the show? Just
the show.
3 freshman high school basketball players that literally, they're bench warmers, but they dream about being legends. Every episode they concoct a scheme to kind of help get there, and then every episode they end up failing.
And there's no end game other than the fact that they are going to wind up, Quinn, unlegendary, pretty much.
Yeah, and pretty much back where they started. We pretty much open up every episode with them on the end of the bench. A game's going on. They're discussing something completely opposite of what's happening in the game, and they get themselves into trouble, and then they have to get themselves out of trouble.
And there's all sorts of stuff that has nothing to do with basketball. Here's the last paragraph of the New York Times.
That's our favorite.
This is it. Episode 2 approaches comedic greatness. The student, you listen to this, Chris's. The students all have to take a scared celibate class in which they pair up and care for a robotic baby. Before the episode is over, anti-vaccinators have been lampooned. The question of whether a robot baby can also be used as a bong has been answered, and the students have learned all about the shortcomings of Robamacare. So wrong, but so funny. Those were the last words of this. Congratulations, guys.
Everybody's been big on this. Like, we're LA guys, so we're LA Times. We respect New York, and we love New York, East Coast and everything. But everybody we've talked to is like, oh, man, you got a great review. They never review anybody. Never give anybody good reviews. So
what from your UCLA, Steve Lavin walk-on experiences do we see on Comedy Central either tonight over the next several episodes?
I think really it's just the mindset. I mean, Joe and I, when we were at the games in Pauley Pavilion, packed crowd, tight, close games, and we just would be having these conversations on the bench that really had nothing to do with the game. We were kind of always plotting our next scheme, what we were going to do that night, what trouble we could get into, and we pretty much just throw that right into our characters. So it's pretty natural and organic when we sit down to write these things with our staff. It's like, let's think of some shit.
Bro, language.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Comedy Central where we've got bleeping equipment.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay, Quinn.
He meant poop.
But, you meant
FCC.
Yeah.
But that paragraph, we actually wrote that episode, so that last paragraph in the New York Times, honestly, we read that, we're like, really? The one we wrote? Like, are you guys sure? Like,
I know.
But hey,
I mean,
we'll take it.
Yeah. So you never, when you were playing for Lavin, ever thought you'd get in a game? I mean, you're sitting at the end of the bench, and
I was decent for like half of one season.
Yeah. I mean, you got out there, didn't you, Joe?
I played a little bit. I gave Michigan some buckets, definitely. You know, we played them a few times. We gave them a couple threes and whatnot. But
you step back. Who'd you step back on? Who'd you step back on?
Who was it? I think Stephen Hunter or somebody. Had this big 7-footer dude, but kind of just.
You step back?
No, just caught it on the break. Pulled up
really?
Three.
Like Klay Thompson?
Not as good of a looking jumper, but it definitely went in.
Okay.
Joe was like Sam Perkins. Yeah, we used to call him Big Smooth.
The big smoothness.
Now, when you were, I'm here with Josiah Johnson and Quinn Hawking, formerly of the NFL Network staff and now the brains behind the operation at Legends of Chamberlain Heights. Were you like chilling out in NFL Network thinking we got to make this show or something like that? Is that where it was born out of or what?
We had a website that we started back in 2008 with another former teammate, Ike Williams, called JerseyChaser.com. JerseyChaser.com, appreciate you.
Right.
So we did that. We were doing that on the low, actually, when we worked at NFL Network. I remember like one time Bardia,
Suraeus, yes.
He pulled it up on a website and he had it up and he was like talking about an article on there and I'm just like sitting there covering my head like, yeah, I don't want him to know. I don't want to get fired. I enjoyed my NFL Network pension and all that goodness. So, but then from there we kind of just transitioned, ended up meeting some guys that worked in television, worked on The Simpsons. So got with them, and then got with another guy named Michael Starberry, who came in and helped write the pilot. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. And you got Jay Farrell involved in this?
Yes.
Formerly now of Saturday Night Live, I believe, right? So he's doing this too?
Yeah, he does several voices. He'll record a lot of times just straight out of New York. We'll just record him in our booth downstairs in North Hollywood. And yeah, awesome guy. Every time he comes in, he's just a ball of energy. Love him.
Now, you guys voice characters who are different races than you are, correct?
Technically, yeah.
What do you mean technically?
Quinn's technically been embraced by the black community, so he has his black card. He can be on Crenshaw and Slauson after 11 p.m.
He's got the hood card is what Terrell Davis once presented to me on NFL Network once. Okay,
you're well respected, so once you reach that level of respect, but we don't really know. Yeah, I do. I voice a white character Milk and a black character Grover. He does a black.
Why do you call the white character Milk, Josiah?
Just because it's just a great nickname.
Now somebody's like a LeBron freak on this show, like
that's Grover, the kid with the headband and the nice curl. The curl is actually modeled after mine, circa like 2003.
And Josiah, what does your dad think of this? What does Marcus think of this?
He actually came on the show and did a voice, and as he was reading the script, he had some choice words for us. He was just like, "You guys gonna make me say this? Like, what's going on?" So, but it was a great time. Like, glad to got him on. He actually came on and did a voice, did so well. They're like, "Oh, you want to do another one?" He's like, "Yeah." He came in, so he does.
Okay.
Episode 8, I believe, he does 2 voices. It's called More Than a Video Game. It'll be out probably closer to November, but
okay.
Now, Joe, we were at the premiere. You showed an episode last night, and the coach of the high school team, I kind of thought that was modeled after your dad.
No, it's actually another guy on our show, co-EP, Carl Jones, who worked on The Boondocks, worked on Black Dynamite. He was doing a Samuel L. Jackson impersonation one day in the writer's room. We just all started cracking up. We're like, "Hey, we got to put you on the show." So it's basically like a variation of Coach Carter, just kind of, but a more loudmouth.
But and which one of you went to the premiere last night with a mink coat? Who was the one rocking that?
That was Joe.
That was,
So have you gone completely Hollywood now?
I just had to get my flares out. Rich's premiere
Joe's
party.
a bona fide celebrity now.
Because Josiah Johnson, I mean, I understand we all come from roots. We all come from places that we graduate, if you will.
Yes.
But you now have a publicist, right? You have a publicist.
Publicist, manager.
You have a manager.
Lawyer.
Do you have a lawyer?
Yeah.
And you've got a mink coat.
Mink coat. I'm working on the Gators. They're getting shipped out.
I don't even know. I don't even know who you are.
Oh, same human being. I like to play dress up now. So
Rich,
every day's Halloween.
When he was an NFL.
No, that's not true. No, Joe, I treated you with respect.
Oh, you're great. I think we only had one issue, and that was like 2005.
What was that issue?
I did a terrible NFL Europe highlight. It was like the Hamburglers and the Admirals or something. Gave you a terrible shot sheet, and I look back on that now, and it's like, it was completely my fault.
Was it? Now, what did I say? I mean,
you just pulled me over afterwards. You're just like, "Yo, bro, you got to get it together." It's like, yeah, you're right. And from that point on, I went on to cut some of the greatest highlights in NFL Network history. So
of course.
I feel like you really
Little known fact, my very first day at NFL Network, August 13th, 2009, I sat in with Josiah in Edit 4 and learned how to cut a highlight, a Patriots preseason game.
And was Quinn, were you the editor then, or no? Or
I don't think I edited that, but I definitely, as soon as Brockman was there, we were doing
all the time. We used to sit in those boring ass 3 p.m. to midnight news shifts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And where literally nothing happened.
And thankfully, one of you made something of himself.
What does it take to turn around an episode? Like, how much time out do you guys need? Because season 2's already been picked up. Are you guys already starting that? What's the animation process like?
We're almost halfway done with season 2. It's generally like a 8 to 9 month process from pre-production all the way through delivery. But we have various points where we can go back in and add more topical, relevant stuff. So we want to get current jokes in there, obviously. Like, we're competing with South Park, and they're done in 6 days. So,
well, let's just put it this way, man. If you, in future episodes for season 2, because season 1 is in the can, as they say here, season 2, if you need somebody to voice a sound expert who drops half the time what he needs to do, Del Tufo's your guy.
I can do more than that.
If you need somebody who acts like he cares but really doesn't care, total slacker, Brockman's your guy.
Normie no more.
If you need somebody who's completely lowest common denominator, even though that is part of your not safe for work content, it is very intelligent and highbrow what you're doing. If you want to have somebody play against that type, Law is your guy. So like, say if you want to have a character go to a bachelor party in the woods and tweeting out pictures of bologna and whipped cream, that's your guy right there, Chris Law. And then if you just need,
up, fellas?
if you need a first-rate sports voice, I'm your guy.
You're already in SAG, right, Rich? That's the most important thing, to be on the show.
Sure.
I know you've been doing it. You've been doing your thing.
It's fine. And congratulations to you. Could not be more happy for you guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Could not be more. Check out the new Comedy Central hit, already been picked up for season 2. Legends of Chamberlain Heights on Comedy Central after South Park premieres tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Josiah Johnson and good old Quinn winning right here. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Quinn Hawking at QWinning24, pardon me, is how he is on Twitter. At King Josiah 54 on Twitter. At Legends of CH. Quinn Hawking and Josiah Johnson right here on the Rich Eisen Show. Back in 60 ticks of the clock with Vince Scully news and also a latest update on Allen Iverson and his trophy. Okay.
There's an update, yes.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.